We will kick off. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for jumping on this webinar related to our newly released special brand Connection Central. Today we're going to explain a little bit about Connection Central, how it works, etc. Basically, Connection Central itself as a brand has been a vision 9 years in the making. How it came about, look, I love listening to people's stories. I love to create out-of-the-box thinking, as does our own marketing team. And so we have this ability to basically identify and match opportunities for business people and for business products and services. And so my whole life I've been doing this and introducing people, and then they've gone on to do multi-million-dollar deals together. And the penny dropped in November last year whilst I was at a Queensland leaders meeting, actually. And 5 different people came up to me in that meeting and said that they wanted more work in the mining industry. So one was from an IT company, one was from a water company, one was in 4x4 vehicles, one in trucking, and an accounting firm. And as I stood there and listened to all of them, I said, guys, if I could actually put all of you in a room together and show you how you can share contacts in a positive way, do you think it could grow your business and also, grow your company? And they all went, yes, please, can you organize that? So that was the day that Connection Central was born. We held our first event in December 2024, and we'll talk about those results a little bit later, but it was phenomenal what happened once we built the trust and we put amazing people in the room together. So the other thing that how this came about at this particular time was that, business owners right now, there's a lot going on, as we all know, but over the coming years, after COVID, etc., and now everybody's waiting for the election, there's always something thrown in the mix. And right now, the business owners are wearing many hats. There's a lot of overwhelm going on. We've got to think about efficiencies. Therefore, there's a lack of time to do everything that needs to be done. The cost of doing business is increasing. There are staffing shortages. HR is growing way out of control. And we're trying to, as business owners, wear all the hats, grow the business, do everything well. And then obviously we're also trying to think of balance and health and family and life, if that is even in the equation. That mixed together with the market currently being a bit, not so much that the market is slow, but there's a waiting because of the election and the Olympics, etc. So what happened was 84% of businesses told us last year that, all their business comes from referrals. And basically this was the perfect time to say, let's launch this thing, put the people in the right people in the room. Let's have them having those right conversations, making the connections, winning the business, which is exactly what's happening. And not only do they get all of that happening for their business, but they can also share their challenges and what's going on in the industry. And so far already we've seen so many great ideas come from that. People have shifted their product and service offerings. They've identified new opportunities together. So the results have been phenomenal. And again, I'll talk about those a little bit later. But that is why Connection Central was born in the first place. The other thing we found is that, people, particularly in that small to medium-sized business, the sort of 3 million to 30 million turnover, they're networking, and they're finding that they're networking with a lot of smaller businesses who are just starting out. And to be honest, they don't want to waste time. Time they don't have. They want to just get on with it and talk to the right people and, get going. So that is why we launched with great success. So what's important to us? Here's our values for Connection Central. The first one, of course, community. It's really important that we're building a community here. We're building a community of people with similar values. Every event, the people are invited exclusively because they are exceptional service providers or operators. and they have the same values as others. So it's a trusted community of people who are brought together with like-minded thinking, and they want to grow, and they also want to help others grow. So it's important conversations with trusted people. Vulnerability is really important because trust comes from vulnerability. So we really welcome the openness and the sharing and the wanting to help each other across everything, not just business. Then we have collaborative. Our members understand that together we are stronger. All of us in business together we are stronger, and none of us can do this alone. So with that collaborative sharing attitude, willing to share contacts, willing to share ideas, help each other, we'll all achieve more. And that's exactly what's happening. It's amazing, actually. It's how it's happening, so quickly in such a positive environment. Relatable. We're all very busy people with busy lives, yet we share the same challenges as humans, both personal and professional. So Connection Central has risen out of a desire to cut through the noise, save time, be relatable to what we need as business owners. Every single time we have a meeting, and we've had about 8 lunches so far, we listen to what our attendees are saying. We emerge new groups. We're connecting with new contacts. For example, in the last meeting, the commercial industrial people said they wanted to talk to Greya, the architectural design company. So now we're talking with them. Our health people wanted to talk more to the retirement and aged care people. So now we're going to the leaders in the market so that we can have them in the room so we can grow our connections even further. So we're listening and we're very relatable. The last one, committed. Most important, all of us in business, we're not going to get anywhere if we're not committed. And so for us, this is about organizing the right meetings with the right connections, for everybody to be fully present, to be prepared in advance, and to have really thought about who they are wanting to connect with. And then for us also to be listening and making sure we put those right people in the room for you. So we're all committed, and as a result, we get the results that people are seeking. So I just, many people call me a bit of a networking demon, a pocket rocket. I think that's just because I'm a short ass. But I just wanted, I really thought about this the other day and thought about, because I love networking, right? I love meeting people and connecting. And when I actually sat down and the team were making this PowerPoint, we thought about all the different groups that I had actually helped grow, and also all of the international speaking that had gone on, and all the different groups that we had presented to and educationally presented to, etc. So just a couple of things. On the bottom there, those are actually all the groups. I'm actually a Queensland Leaders Industry Expert, and that's a phenomenal group. I've helped build NRG, Women's Network, Couragio, Thought Pilots. That top corner picture is actually in South Africa. I got invited to speak for 3,000 business owners over there, which was brilliant. The bottom right one next to the O, I got invited to interview Michael Douglas, the actor in LA. We had 2,000, we had 3,000 in the audience, of which about 1,000 were Australian multi-million-dollar businesses, which was awesome, a great support. I've spoken for the Toastmaster groups, Brisbane Business Hub, top right corner there. We had actually the largest group they've ever had just recently last year. Queensland Leaders, I speak for all their groups. They have, they're huge alumni of small to medium to large businesses. Speaking for the Chamber of Commerce's, that's the Redlands Chamber at the bottom there, but I've spoken for all of them pretty much. We have our activated workshops ourselves where we put people in groups. So, all of these amazing networks is what allows myself and our team to put the right people in the room for you to connect with so that you can grow your business. And as I say, we love LinkedIn. We're always connecting. I've got over 7,500 odd on LinkedIn. And we're always having those conversations so we can bring those connections to you as well. Right people in the room for you. So the formula for success, basically, and it is a bit different, and I purposely made it a bit different because we want to stand out from everybody else. That's our marketing hat we've put on there. It's all about selecting your target segment. So we have segments such as commercial industrial sheds, we have health, transport, mining, residential high-end, manufacturing, the list goes on, aged care, retirement. And it's all about you as a business owner selecting which target segment you want to grow into or potentially you can add value to. So that is how we work out who gets put into the room and who shares what contacts. It's intimate and focused. Again, I purposely did this with the smaller groups because we want to make sure that everybody is heard. It's not just a big free-for-all, because the conversations, we really build trust and share intimate and specific information. So it's important that those groups may stay small, but they are picked personally to complement each other. So for example, we had in one room, we had a solar guy who was talking about all the petrol stations that he put the solar on. Then we had another guy who was in cleaning and facilities, and he looked after a different petrol station. So those two got together and have done work together. Then in a recent room, we had another company who was an electrician come, and he looked after the other petrol station that all of them wanted to look after. So the three of them, because of those, intimate and focused conversations, could really delve deep into that. And now they are all really good contacts for each other and all doing work together. So it's important to keep them small. We also have special guests, and then sometimes in the future we will have some slightly bigger groups based upon those special guests. The facilitator, every event is facilitated so that we can stay on track, and we make sure that those actual introductions and those contacts are shared and we're not just fluffing around and crapping on. So it's important that we have our facilitator there. It isn't just small talk. Quite often in networking, people have sort of said, oh, it's just another networking group. But it's not, because we get stuck into those important conversations. We use trust exercises to build connections fast. And we also prepare you beforehand so that you come ready to actually just get results. We're not just there to stuff around. I mean, we do actually make really good new friends as a result, because we're all aiming towards the same visions, right? But it's all about getting in, getting the connections, building trust, and sharing. It's always a delicious lunch. We purposely select very lovely venues so that you can be treated well. If you're going to take time out of your business, we want to make sure that you're looked after. And sometimes, as business owners, we don't actually have time to do that. So that's why we've purposely picked, higher end venues. You have the $250 fee for the luncheon, which is for your lovely meal and beverages. And that also allows us to have the right people in the room with the right intentions. As I said before, you leave with real connections, proper contacts, and we also give you the tools so that you can follow up and work on actually turning those into real business. Some of the results I just wanted to share. One of our earlier events we had, when we talked about challenges, someone was looking to sell a business, and we just had another company just go through the process with not much success, to be honest, but sharing those wins and losses was fantastic. We had here one of our commercial industrial guys. You can see there, after just one session, he landed a high-level builder, and the first job together will cover his fee for the next 5 years. He actually followed up with his next event and got another 2 builders, which gave them another whole lot of business, which was wonderful. We had an architect come to one, and they introduced the developer to the builder, which was wonderful. We've had recruiters come and then connect commercial clients. We've had in the health, meeting. We had the opportunity. It was wonderful, actually, because we identified the challenges of back and forth with forms and all that sort of stuff. And because we had an online operator in there, these particular occupational therapists, companies, etc., were able to go direct and cut out a whole piece of time wasting, which was golden. And that opportunity or that conversation would never have come up if they weren't in that room together having that conversation. There's been so many wins. It's been wonderful, actually. So we had a uniform company has gotten 6 different jobs as a result of coming to the events, and yes, the list goes on, but it's in general. And then because we have our complementary services as well, the people like the accountants, the IT companies, the HR companies, etc. And this is such a wonderful way, when they're nice and organized, to actually be introduced to whole databases, which again is just such a faster way to get your ideal clients into your pipeline and scaling the business. So to join the community, basically what happens, we invite everyone the opportunity to come twice, because it is very unique, and sometimes they come the first time and then sort of work it out and then come back and really get stuck in. And then after that, we invite you to join the membership. 5% of the membership goes to charities who are chosen by our actual members, which is wonderful. And there's a whole lot of other, you get reduced lunches, etc., socials. There's a whole bunch of other stuff. So that is how that works. And some of our lovely pictures. Oh, and you also get some good promo products, which we love here at O. So, what's coming up? So new events get released constantly. We're just about to release a new transport, trucking, logistics event and another commercial industrial event. We're working on another, as I said, aged care retirement. We're constantly working on new events, so they just keep getting released, so you keep an eye on our website. But this is what's coming up, so if anything catches your eye there, let us know, and we can send you links, etc. So that is about it from me. Over to you with any questions that might pop up. Oh, very good question. So is it just the lunches? No, our members also will come along to our social events, which they will not have to pay for. And as we sort of develop and grow, there will be other sort of different types of events and things. But for now, it is the lunches and the social events, which happen quarterly. And also our members, every quarter we give away a $250 restaurant voucher for them to either take their guests or their team to lunch and enjoy. And they also get $50 off each of the lunches as well. So plenty of benefits there for our members. Yes. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, thank you again, everybody. And any questions, just reach out.